Hi.
Hello.
Howdy.
Welcome to the next episode of the Montana Send podcast series. It is the coldest morning yet, and we have found our way back to the Madison River.
Our plans got good and scrambled. We ended up running away from weather, as you guys know, and it worked out very well in our favor because yesterday was the coolest day of fishing that we've had on this trip. We were saying that was essentially the day that we planned this entire trip for.
Yeah, it was nutty. A full day of streamer fishing. How many bites or follows do we realistically think we had?
Over 100 something.
Yeah.
I mean,
easy.
So we floated from right about 11 a.m., right?
Yeah.
And what was that name of that launch? It was
McConnell.
McConnell.
Yeah,
so
we
we
put
started
in at McConnell.
We put it at McConnell at 11 and pulled out maybe an hour before dark at Yankee Jim Canyon.
Yeah.
That float for however many hours that took, what was it, about 9 miles?
Yeah.
I would say the longest just about any of us went that entire float without at least a follow. It was 5-10 minutes maybe?
Not even. Yeah.
Maybe less,
Yeah.
honestly. It was silly. It seemed like if you could hit the bank with the streamer, you were going to get at least a follow. We had several casts where you'd have 2-3 trout following. You might catch one, you might not, but it was a special kind of day. It was the kind of day that folks live for and that folks come from hundreds of thousands of miles to come to Montana to experience. We got to do that yesterday.
And it started off at a beautiful campsite, Canyon Creek or Canyon something.
Canyon Campground.
Canyon Creek Campground.
Cramping.
Oh, it started off at Canyon Keep.
Canyon Campground.
It's
Custer Gallatin National Forest.
Yeah. And we had our sweet little setup there, so we had the tarp out. Alex got a good night of sleep. We didn't end up getting rained on that bad, but once we got moving, it was still pretty chilly that morning.
Yes.
It wasn't terrible. We had a slow start. We took our time. We just kind of cruised on out of camp. Saw a lot of elk herds on the drive out to our put-in. Dropped off the motorcycle at the bottom, and yeah, as soon as we started that float, Alex was on the front of the boat.
Yeah.
He started fishing.
Just the key was you had to get a good strip within what, a foot or two.
Yeah.
It's got to come off quick.
Yeah.
Bang, off quick, and that's when you'd get your bites, or you'd make a couple more strips and then it'd hit again, or they'd follow all the way out to the boat and kind of swipe and look at it, and then they wouldn't bite and you'd be frustrated. So yeah, I mean, it was a spectacular bite.
Yes,
We knew it was going to be hot first 30 minutes of fishing because Alex was up first. He won rock, paper, scissors. So.
Yeah, one rock, paper, scissors. But we swapped out pretty quick.
I mean, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We did the 30.
Yeah, we did 30
we tried
minutes
to
on the
stick
dot.
true to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was after Alex. You had 2 bites, or you caught 2
I
and
caught
had
2.
5 or 6 follows that first round.
Yep.
That first fish is always like, sweet, we got it knocked off, like we're good, skunk's off for the day, and then we're just hoping for that next bite. And then you get that next bite, like 2 minutes later, you start thinking, maybe it's gonna start happening.
It could be heating up.
So then Jake hops on the bow, fishes for maybe, I don't know, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we come up on some pretty gnarly rapids. I'm still fairly new to rafting, so we did a little swap. Jake let me hop up on the bow. I made like 3 casts and caught a really nice, solid brown trout. So at that point, after Alex caught those 2, I caught that brown trout. We all did it doing the same thing. It was gonna be a sweet day. And so we got through those rapids, and then Jake got back on the bow, and
I got my first cutthroat in on the boat, and I think I caught a few on that first round, and just had, I mean, it was literally, the entire day was just chase after chase. And really, it was just like, as long as you hit that bank, you were going to get a follow pretty much. And we were just making some dime casts, I feel like.
Oh yeah, we were
all
locked
dialed.
in. We were locked in for sure. We were locked in for
rowing
sure.
was good too. It was like an easier to row river.
Until
the wind kicked up.
Oh my gosh. That was brutal.
That wind was crazy. I was rowing for my absolute life, as hard as I could possibly row, and we were not moving. we were sandwiched between this fast riffle and the wind. And it was like the wind is keeping me in one place, the riffle's keeping me in the other, and we're just stuck. I mean, it was crazy. And then Jake
run a fire drill.
We did a little Chinese fire drill, swapped around. Jake took us through that big run, and then we swapped back, went through the rest of it, and then it was my turn on the bow.
Oh my goodness.
And Alex was rowing.
I ended up, I think at one point, I had both arms on the oars, and they were dug deep, and my feet were up on the bars, and I'm pretty sure my butt was off the seat, and I was just like holding there as hard as I could, and his oars were like bending over, and I was like, this is all I can do. So we're going
mock Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
I think we were going faster than my John boat with a gas motor could run. I mean, we were screaming down there.
Yeah.
It was all you could do was plop that streamer in, like one twitch out, plop streamer in, one twitch out. We caught fish doing it, but it was just like 1,000 miles an hour. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was cool because we were doing some sections where we would do what we were calling combat fishing. So some of the bigger fish were holding up right on the really fast water lines. So we would essentially reel in all our line and just do a flick out across the bow, stripping across, flick out, stripping across. And I was rowing Alex, put him right on the bank. I was like, all right, combat fishing time. We were cruising down the river. I'm rowing against the current to give him as much time as possible. He flicks it out there.
Oh,
you got to follow first, and then you put it back out.
Yeah,
right?
it struck at it as soon as I stripped. There's a little cut, the foam line, just I don't know, maybe 6 inches, and this fish just came out, slapped at it, missed it, and then I had enough time to flick it back over and strip hard once, and then it was just wham!
And that was my favorite fish of the
Oh
day.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
it was about as cool as it gets.
Yeah,
That was a beauty.
that was such a sick eat. So we'll have to roll the clip on that.
Yeah, that one was
Yeah,
pretty. That was
nuts.
pretty spectacular. I mean, really, when you're fishing a streamer all day and you throw nymphs off the back of the boat and you're trying to find other ways, chucking dry flies off the back of the boat, and you are doing stereotypical trout stuff that would catch fish, and it's not working, and the streamer's working, I don't think anyone would complain.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
we probably saw what 50 dry fly eats.
Yeah,
throughout
I
the
saw a
day?
bunch
At
of
least
zips.
they were eating something microscopic.
Yeah.
We couldn't see what it was.
Super tiny.
We didn't have flies. I didn't have a fly in my box small enough. I think the smallest I had was 18, and you could still see it, but you were not seeing what they were sipping off the
Yeah,
surface.
I had a few, but it just wasn't worth even trying because we were just having so much luck on the streamer.
Yeah.
And nothing beats a streamer bite when it's on.
No, it was pretty silly.
But I
Yeah.
will say, when I got up on the bow for one of my rounds, I struck out for the entire 30 minutes, and I had probably 6 or 7 takes. Missed 6 or 7 takes. Had way more follows because every few casts is a follow. And then get back on after waiting an hour, sitting in the back, then sitting in the rower seat, get back up front, and man, I was just, for some reason, could not get the hook set, even though I had figured it out all morning. And luckily these boys were nice enough to let me go a little over my time mark just to get a fish in the boat before the day was over, and that was my last fish of the day. But
Yeah.
man, for a second there, I was on the struggle bus.
Yeah, that was...
Had to get one.
Jake was descending a little bit
I was
to a
like,
dark
holy
place.
cow.
We had to keep him up there and get him another one.
I need to
so.
put a fish in the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, at that point, it got like late.
It got late. If you guys had like one region of water to connect on, like for me, I would say that outside swing with right after a riffle with some little bit of slower water with like
Those big chunk rocks off a
Yeah.
steep,
Chunk rock.
like steep drop off.
for
Like
me
2
that
or 3
was
man
like,
boulders.
Yeah.
Those were.
that was for sure happening.
Yeah.
Was there anything
there
else
was-
you guys noticed that was like
I mean, that was the best.
That
for
was,
sure.
I mean, that was,
Yeah.
if you were to pick, if you could fish just that run, that style of run the whole time, I mean, which we kind of did. That whole section of Yellowstone, every single bend had one of those. It
Yeah,
seemed like
yeah.
there was only one, felt almost like just a big pondy section there in the middle I guess it was really towards the end.
Yeah,
of
when
the
I was
float.
still up there.
Yeah, we kind of rode through a spot
Mhm.
forward because it was just not really moving. But for the most part, it was a lot of what Alex was talking about. Those really sort of textbook sweet streamer runs that were producing a lot of fish for us. So
Yeah, we definitely noticed the shaded bank
Mhm.
too. When the sun was right, we didn't really have that for too long, but when there was like, I don't know, 2 foot of shade
Yeah.
right on a decent bed, they were hitting it right at the surface and boiling.
Yeah,
We had
was
multiple
nuts.
fish come out of the water for streamers. I had a fish put itself on the rocks, chasing a streamer that I accidentally stripped over a rock, and it came up after it and flopped off the rock.
Yeah, I mean, it
Just
was
like so aggressive. That's why I love cutthroat.
yeah.
They'll just chase anything.
Yeah, and that was really our main goal for being on the Yellowstone, was to secure a Yellowstone cutthroat for Alex and I. Jake was fortunate enough to do some work with Yellowstone National Park and got to have a
got
lot
my
of time on the river and experience how awesome Yellowstone cutthroats are. But we got to do that too, and that was really fortunate. And man, that landscape is
Tough to beat.
is almost, you can't describe it with words. You just have to see the footage and immerse yourself in the experience that we were doing to even get a partial bit of what that might be like. It's just awe-inspiring.
It was, yeah, it was incredible.
So we started getting towards the end of the day there. We look behind us. Alex is like, is that something we should be concerned about?
Big dark sky.
Big dark sky. I look at the map, I'm like, oh crap, we have like 2.5 river miles left. I hop back on the oars. Or no, I was sitting in the back and I was like, hey, let's just each get one more fish. I had just caught my fish after going through my slump. Murphy caught one.
Ooh.
And then we swap up. I go back on the oars. I'm putting Alex on the bank for his last fish before we just turn boat and haul butt backwards. And oh my God, Alex had the coolest eat.
We had what, another 20 yards worth of like
Big
big
rock.
boulders?
Yeah.
Big boulders seem to be just incredible too. So had a big brown just come, just porpoise out of the water to the point that it turned back downstream and just broke me right off. I like barely felt the weight of that fish, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
One thing I don't think I did that we probably should have done was retie.
We never changed the tipping material the whole day. We caught like 30 something decent sized cutthroat and smacked rocks the entire day and never changed the tipping material.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's for sure our fault, because
We're
we
just
had
so excited.
We had two of we had two
I was
of
just
the
so
hot
happy.
lure. The Montana Intruder was definitely the lure yesterday.
Yeah.
Really shiny one, purpley, pinky, silvery, just crazy looking thing, but just all flash.
Yeah.
And we had two of those, and we lost both of them. So hopefully today, on Madison, we don't have to have that lure. Hopefully we can have a different fly that we can find some connections with on some bigger browns.
Yeah.
I think we will.
I think we will.
Yeah, it's cloudy.
Yeah.
I don't think that flash is going to play as big of a feature.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm gonna try and throw some real chunky streamers today for some big browns. So
We'll see.
yeah, once we hit that last fish and Alex popped off on that one, we all knew it was time to haul ass out of there. So I turned the boat backwards and just started back rowing for the last 2 or 2.5 miles, because I had a 13 mile motorcycle ride on a 70 mile an hour road with a 100cc bike. That's pretty much a dirt bike. So yeah, I got on the motorcycle once we got back. I give her a good 12 kicks to get her to start up.
Yeah, she was fighting you a little
She
bit
was
there.
pissed.
Yeah.
And then I'm buzzing my way down the road. I'm like pinning it in 4th gear, going 40 uphill on a 70. It was so cool though, because there were elk in the fields, like looking at me like, what in
this
heck
guy
is that?
doing?
They were all their hairs went up and they were like backing off the road. And I go to pull into the boat ramp after, praising the Lord for my survival on that highway. And there's a bull elk just about 15 yards off the trailer just watching me. And I like pull in, turn the bike off real quick, and it's just like, it's doing that little mouth sniffing thing where it's like opening its mouth up and just like giving me the what for. So it was super cool. Loaded up the bike, came pick these guys up, and we bounced on out of Livingston and made a beeline towards Ennis.
Yep.
Now,
and here we are.
Found a cool little campsite here at Madison River Campground. Had a tasty little McDonald's meal on the road. Picked up some groceries. Should have got a little more water, but we got some. And now it's time for us to fish the Madison. So we hope you guys enjoyed that episode. And we're gonna catch you out here next time on the Madison River chasing big browns.
Let's get it.
Let's do it.